Welcome to Talking Down the Highway, a Beach Boys podcast presented by Strange Currencies Music. I'm Matt.
I'm Glenn.
I'm Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hi. You know, it's nice to get together every once in a while.
Even when we don't Tim get a hey?
Even when we don't have an album to talk about, you know, it's fun just to hang out.
Yeah.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Glenn.
How's your fantasy baseball team doing?
I don't do fantasy baseball.
Hey, Glenn.
I did for years and years, but the league that I was in was super, like... Well, you played in it for a couple years.
Hi, Tim.
Just really high maintenance.
Hi, Tim.
And
Hi, Glenn.
once our commissioner had a kid and everything, he's like, I just don't have time to,
Yeah, sad.
We worked too hard to try to make it emulate real life with salaries and all that.
I'm just saying I'm in first place is what I'm saying.
Oh, well,
So,
I'm in first place in my fantasy league.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hi, Glenn.
Tim.
You know who's in first place in real baseball?
The Dodgers.
Well, in that lame Western division, but
Los Angeles. Good California team. Good.
Mike Love's favorite,
neighborhood boys.
yeah, something like that.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, Glenn.
This is how I feel. This is how I feel when you guys talk about The Simpsons. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well,
No, this is fine. Like I said, we don't have an album to talk about this
No,
week.
we don't.
So, just-
I have actually a lot
We
of
can
stuff on my
chit-chat.
agenda for like random things to discuss.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We were tantalizingly close this morning when I checked, to hitting, get this, 10 billion listeners.
Wow.
We were only about 20 shy.
that-
Wow.
And that's just with a big three. I'm assuming there's other, bargain bin, podcast listening places where we're also there. But yeah,
Oh,
we are
impressive. That's a lot.
20 shy of 10 billion.
That's
a big deal.
It's a big deal.
A couple things from our last episode. There was an attempt to correct. An attempt. My daughter was listening, and we were discussing Janelle Monáe, who appeared on the,
Dirty
in
Computer.
discussions.
Yeah.
You always reference, like, I wouldn't say it's her worst album. I haven't listened to the most recent one really closely, but you always, every time I've mentioned Janelle Monáe, like Dirty Computer, the Arch Android is infinitely better.
It is. I'm just saying we're talking about Brian Wilson. That was the track Brian Wilson worked on.
Fine. But anyway, my daughter had suggested that she believed that Janelle Monáe uses they/them pronouns.
Oh, okay.
I looked it up, and I was pretty sure that she doesn't exclusively. She uses she, her, they/them.
Okay.
But we're attuned to these kinds of
We
things.
are.
So
We
I wanted
gotta-
to
you
make
gotta stay on
sure
top of
that I checked, and the most recent information I could find was that Janelle Monáe uses
Thanks for
they,
looking
there,
out for us.
she, her, and yeah, I just want to make sure that people
yeah.
know that we are
We are.
attuned to such. Although I did see that in one interview, Janelle Monáe did say that one of her pronouns was like free ass motherfucker or something like that,
okay.
and I thought that maybe hewed a little too closely to like my pronouns are patriot
Right.
or whatever, but. Janelle Monáe, I don't think she's MAGA.
I don't think so.
I think they're all right. So anyway,
Dear.
she's pretty good free ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was one thing. Next thing, I got all kinds of notes. Maybe we can save a few of these for the next one. Let's talk follows. People who follow us.
Okay.
Tim, you had a run-in.
I did.
Not a run-in per se, but we
Oh,
had a post
yeah.
on Talking Beach Boys. Apparently, there were some Nazis. Or a Nazi.
It wasn't
following
a post even. It was like,
just a follower.
We posted, and then I see the likes and I see the new follows, and so I usually, when we get a new follower, I click on them just to kind of peruse their profile if it's not private, just to see if they're like terrible. And sure enough, yeah, there was a terrible guy.
Yeah. His pronouns were he, Heil. Right?
Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Where is he? Didn't I post this? Where is it? Okay. There it is. So, Screwdriver, that's the band. So this is basically this guy who looks a little shifty to begin with. And I looked at the things he's posted, and he's got like a lot of Beach Boys stuff and a lot of things like that. But then he's got some like Patriot stuff, quote unquote.
His pronouns are patriot.
Yeah, and then he's got like a BLM, sarcastic anti-BLM thing there, and then he's got multiple posts where he's like holding up a vinyl record of a Screwdriver album or talking about that band or another band.
Which
that
is
like white power punk music, essentially.
He sounds fun.
Yeah, there's another one, I forget, there was another band on there too, but basically, yeah, it's like some of these people, they're Nazis, and then they try to reassign it as being like anti-communist. He has some of that stuff on there too. Like, I'm not a Nazi. I just don't like commies, and I love America, etc., etc. And it's like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't follow us, fuckface.
yeah.
We've got 10 billion listeners. We don't need you.
that's right.
Yeah.
But that was the post that I
There are
did in
10 billion
response.
other people on this planet that like our podcast, so we don't need you. Yeah.
Yeah, and in response,
Facts.
that's what I posted. I was like, sad face Brian, like, what happens when no, I said, like, yeah, if you're a literal Nazi, don't follow us, don't listen to the show, go die.
Yeah.
So
Which is really the most decent, nice thing you can post, right? To a literal Nazis.
And if any Nazis are listening right now,
fuck y'all.
yeah,
You lost. Just fuck off. You and
Right.
your Confederate wannabes and all you January 6ers. Fuck all y'all.
I hear that the cool thing to do if you're a Nazi is to jump into one of those giant industrial shredders,
Yeah.
for likes on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that works.
don't do that for sure.
Well, I mean, hey, it's free country. Do it if you want.
You know, yeah, America,
Industrial shredders.
America.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody tread on you.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe let something shred on you.
Yeah. There you go.
Anyway,
Speaking of followers, we also got followed by an account. This was Strange Currencies, not Talking Beach Boys. Maybe Talking Beach Boys has as well too.
let's see.
We got followed by something called Shut Up Glenn.
no way.
No.
What is that?
Shut Up Glenn.
No.
Is that in
now,
a reference to our show?
I doubt it. It spells Glenn with one N.
Oh yeah, no. That's,
so it must not be. Right.
it can't be. Can't be.
In fact, actually, Shut Up Glenn just followed the most recent. So, here's what it says. Characters named Glenn, and then in parentheses it has a second N, are usually losers, dum-dums, dorks, a-holes,
man.
weirdos,
Wow.
or just plain awful.
Wow. Shut up, Glenn.
Guess who's getting a follow?
Hey, back off.
He's just talking about fictional characters. It's fine.
Yeah. We haven't been referenced or anything. He hasn't said,
No, he
hey.
totally searched up hosts with the name Glenn, and now he's following
Probably.
us.
Yeah.
No sad Brian post about that guy? Tim, come on.
Maybe a happy.
Yeah. All
Let's
right.
see, let's see
One
where
other
it
thing
goes.
with followers, I'm going to save the other stuff for our next episode. But we got a comment on our most recent episode, which technically, as we're recording this right now, just dropped yesterday. This is from not just friend of the podcast, but real, genuine, like beloved friend of the podcast here, Matt McReynolds.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, Matthew, a frequent
right,
frequent
yeah.
guest. Well, I mean not frequent, but a contributor to Strange Currencies and definitely a contributor to our royalty free to us music and all that. So he's commenting on our episode on the Carl Wilson and Looking Back with Love episode, and he says, "You all were too rough on poor Carl. He's a good boy, and Carl Wilson is a perfectly fine album.
No, it's not.
It just sounds like everything else that came out in that era. The songs aren't inspired, but they're not trash. And Carl's voice is always a pleasure to listen to. Maybe you just had to be raised on Linda Ronstadt, as I was, to hear through that 1981 sheen. I enjoy the record, and will put it on again. Should have been ranked at least a David Marks."
All right, so Matt McReynolds is now an enemy of the show.
Ooh, I don't know that I can go that far. Like, I don't get to see him often enough to put him on
Right.
blast like I do with, look, I give Glenn a hard time all the time, and I am very happy that we've been followed by something called Shut Up Glenn. But if I only saw Glenn once every couple years, like I see Matt McReynolds, I wouldn't say "Shut up, Glenn." I wouldn't.
I'd say open up, Glenn.
Proximity,
Proximity, yeah. That's fair.
I work with the guy, I see him all the time, but yeah, I'm not going to put Matthew McReynolds in the
I don't know.
enemies list.
I don't know. That Carl album. had me-
He's wrong about this.
had me
Matt,
reeling.
you are wrong.
Yeah,
that
sorry,
album
Matthew.
is trash. It's bad. I mean, hey, we all can at least agree that Carl is a damn good looking man on that cover.
He is.
Right?
Tasty.
Wait,
Yeah.
was Matt commenting on YouTube, or where was he?
Yes, he's one of
Okay.
our YouTube listeners apparently. which-
Nice. Go YouTube.
Somebody's
We
got
like
to listen
that.
on
We
YouTube,
like that.
and we
Yeah.
appreciate the comments.
My dad?
Oh, we also did get a
Yeah.
comment from your dad. Yeah,
Yep.
do you want to?
He sent a picture of it to me.
He sent a picture of the comment he made.
Well, I brought up to him like, "Well, you're not commenting anymore." He's like, "Okay, I got a good
Prove
one."
it. He brought receipts. Huh?
Says, "Hello, thank you for questioning whether or not I am still listening to the podcast. I am, but I have been in Dharamshala, India, at McLeod Ganji, visiting with the Dalai Lama Since it was so spiritual there, I did not want to make any snide comments as I usually do. The Dalai Lama has been listening.
Nice. Again, 10 billion listeners.
The Maharishi listening?
So the Dalai Lama has been listening, and he told me he had been very disappointed in the Endless Summer album also.
The compilation.
Yeah, apparently.
That's a gold.
Yeah, I thought about asking my dad why he didn't go to Maharishi University.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot closer.
Yeah.
Especially because your dad's like in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah,
I mean, Iowa's just a hop, skip, and a jump, right? I think.
Yeah, but you know,
somewhere in Middle America, like any of us pay any attention to the non-coasts.
It's in one of those
we just lost
flyover
like
states.
6 listeners. Yeah.
Anyway, so Dad's still listening.
We love Middle America.
Yeah. I mean,
That Stephen Malkmus song,
It's
though?
fine.
Middle America.
oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if I know it, but yeah,
On Sparkle Hard. Yeah.
I'm sure I like it more than the Counting Crows song.
That's the first thing that came to Omaha.
Somewhere,
Somewhere
in
in
Middle
Middle
America.
America.
You know that album? I don't know. I gotta.
I feel like we've touched on that album on this podcast or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
Did it
There's
come
some-
out that his dreads were fake the whole time?
There's some tender spots there.
That's likely. All right. Well, hey, let's take a break. We've gotten through the fun stuff. We have another
dear.
difficult conversation
Task
I
ahead
guess,
of
to
us.
engage in this
Yeah,
week.
okay.
So,
I guess.
yeah, we'll be back in just a minute.
You're the woman from the street, and I am so sorry. You know, I'm not really a homewrecker.
We're back.
Sorry, Glenn is that was his social worker. He's
Oh.
homeless and trying to date Elaine on Seinfeld.
Oh, that's Glenn. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. This is from Shut Up, Glenn. This is the kind of things he posts. Like,
I don't like
examples.
I don't
gold.
like the
It's gold,
direction.
Eric.
I don't like the direction this is this bit's going.
That's all right. We've got something to really direct our disliking towards today,
Yeah,
and it's
I
not
guess.
you.
Oh wow.
So the year is 1984, and
I
Big
wish.
Big Brother is I don't know, doing what Big Brother does. I haven't read 1984 actually.
Me neither.
I just pretend to because I'm want people to think I'm smart.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it's night. I don't know. I mean, this album comes out in June 10th, 1985. It sounds like something they probably could have slapped together in a few weeks. So maybe it's like, I don't know, May of 1985, and they're like, oh, it's been a while since we've done a Beach Boys album. Let's throw this shit together.
I don't care to look it up. Yeah. I'm sure sometime around then. Yeah. Who cares?
All right, 1985, the Beach Boys decide it's time to finally follow up the beloved Keeping the Summer Alive.
Now that we don't have Dennis holding us down anymore.
They kept the summer alive, but they couldn't
dear.
keep Dennis alive.
keep their
Soon.
brother alive.
Too soon.
This is their this is the first thing they did after their brother's untimely death. This is how they pay tribute.
Yeah, this.
Wow.
Yeah.
They rechristened themselves with a self-titled album called The Beach Boys.
Clever.
Clever, yeah. They were putting the level of
I don't understand why
effort into the title that they put
Okay.
into the songs.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And this
This
is an album.
It is an album. It's
Good episode.
Yep.
digitally
All right.
digitally
Play that
recorded.
outro music.
This album is digitally recorded.
I saw that. Yeah, the first one that they ever did fully digital. I don't know. Was Pro Tools like just barely around in '84?
I don't
It's
know,
like a
but
beta
is that?
version or something.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
I mean, is that
No,
one of
it's
the?
not.
Is that one of the indicators of that quote unquote dated sound?
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, perhaps, but it's hard to say because they're using so many synthesizers. If it was recorded on tape, it'd probably sound pretty similar, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It adds another, element of sterility to the whole proceedings to have
Yeah.
it digitally recorded, and I don't know. It's
It's funny. It peaked at number 52 in the U.S., which I think is better than a lot of their other
yeah,
albums.
yeah.
Which I was surprised to see.
My copy of it, which I bought, I don't know, probably about a year ago when Rem and I did the catalog crawl. It was still shrink wrapped and like sealed tightly, like never ever had been opened.
You opened it.
And I opened it.
It's lost all its value.
Well, I know. I'm really, really worried about that now, actually. And in my review on Rate Your Music, which I think I might have also copied this into our catalog crawl, I said, I think by opening that outer
Sealed.
packaging, I like unleashed some sort of mummy's curse on all of us.
Yeah.
But
It happened in 2016.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, context, if we have to talk about context too, the other real painful thing about this album is Eugene Landy is connected with it.
He's there.
He is.
Yeah.
He's co-credited. He was
Did you
originally
see you see that quote from him? There is a quote, Eugene Landy, he says, "I'm practically a member of the band.
Yeah.
Brian's got the talent to make the music. He's the creator. The other band members are just performers.
Right.
So I'm the one who's making the album?"
It doesn't even make sense within it, the quote itself, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, maybe he's acknowledging that the other band members are just performers, that the Beach Boys are Brian Wilson.
but his name
Hey,
ends
I
up...
will say Eugene Landy has 3 times as many writing credits on the album as Mike Love.
And
Well, originally, because
Yeah.
Eugene
was
Landy originally received co-writer's credit, but that was omitted like in 2000.
for the CD.
The CD re-release or whatever.
Yeah.
So Eugene Landy's name is not
Okay.
on it, but this is...
Well, in my sealed copy from 1985, which, by the way, sounds immaculate. Like, I put it on, I dropped the needle, and, I mean, again, it's that sterility of the digital recording and synth everything, but it just very, very clean. Sounded fucking great. But, yeah.
But yeah, to what end? My like overall thought on the album is like, the production style, obnoxiousness, I don't know, it overwhelms everything, and even songs that might otherwise be good are terrible.
Yeah, and Glenn and I were talking about this a little bit before you showed up because you made us wait.
Yeah, it's true.
Dated doesn't have to, I mean, and I get into this, I think, as well in the catalog crawl, but we use that as the shorthand for like, we can just, write it off. It's dated. It sucks.
Sounds like the 80s.
There's stuff that sounds like the 80s that, of course, it's going to sound like the 80s. Music recorded in the 80s is going to have certain, hallmarks to it. Music recorded in the 60s or the 20s, whatever. It's going to have some elements of that time. In the 80s, people were really, really leaning into a lot of technology that very quickly became, not obsolete, but like kind of tacky and just things were improved on. But still, with those ingredients, there were people making fucking great music that still holds up. And this is partially an issue with, some of the production is gaudy and just tacky, but the material's just kind of shit too.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't know if I thought there was... I maybe thought there was like one possibly good song on the whole album.
Yeah. Okay. Well, do we have anything else for context?
Yeah, just I guess these are like fun facts. Ringo plays drums on one of the songs.
He does, and it's like one of the worst ones on the album.
Yeah,
too.
California Calling.
Maybe the worst. And we'll get there. We'll get there. But
and 2 of the songs were written by other very famous acts.
Right.
Stevie Wonder writes a song.
Yeah. Well,
And he plays all the instruments.
Yeah, we'll dive into that again as we get into
And
the
then
album sequence.
Culture Club writes a song. Like Boy George and Rob Hay wrote a song, and I looked just to make sure. I looked up, and like Stevie Wonder never released his own version of that song, and Culture Club never released their own version of that song. So it's like just these guest acts coming in to like give you guys a song. Here you go.
Electric Light Orchestra, Jeff.
Well, Jeff Lynne.
Lynne.
Was he involved in this one too?
Yeah, he did a song on here, didn't he?
I know he's on the Brian solo album. I don't think he's on this.
Yeah. Actually, I think you're right. I mean, yes, he is definitely on Brian's solo record, and I don't see his credits here.
So there's that.
Yeah, I part of the trouble with this one is I was trying to divorce, because I didn't want to approach this album as this is 1985 and this is that. I was trying to get over that, and I was trying to get over the the heavy-handed synthesizers and the just like plasticky, the fake drums, and I was trying to put my finger on it. I was like, is it that it was recorded digitally?
Synth bass, I think, is a big part of it.
And there's some of it, but again, like, I think it kind of there are albums, there are recordings out there that have those same elements. It's not that in itself that makes it tacky and bad. It's that just like these songs here are lack the inspiration and
I do think as far as production, at some point, some producers, I think there's this sound that goes wong wong, and I like that. Let's do it a lot and really loud,
Right.
Instead of like trying to be tasteful with it, like
right.
on them.
But I mean, like other albums that are going out at this time, like Dylan kind of had the same Empire Burlesque has,
Which sucks. That
right.
album,
That's what I'm
album's
saying.
trash.
That's what I'm saying. They're similar.
Yeah.
It fell into that similar trap. But then there's other stuff that is good that's coming out, and that was the point I was trying to make with the whole yacht rock thing. That I think there is some stuff that has that. I mean, Bill Withers did a lot of songs that you could consider yacht rock that are done really well, just because, So I don't know. I think there are some songs that have those digital, heavy-handed synths, processed drums that do it well, but that's not the reason this album is bad. I think this album is bad just because it's uninspired and there's
we can talk about like the
content.
generational kind of thing, and it's not fair. I mean, we were listening to it before we came down here. We were listening to Hounds of Love, and because Glenn came in saying, "Oh, I want to hear something that's '80s produced that sounds good and that is good," and so we were just listening to that for a little bit. That's a total generational difference between Kate Bush and the Beach Boys or Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
I always think of something like, there is somebody from that generation that made a hugely 80s sounding record that is fucking awesome.
Who? Tell me.
Who?
I can't guess.
Glenn.
The Who?
Oh, Paul Simon.
Paul Simon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Graceland.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a fucking
Graceland's-
masterpiece.
Yeah.
It is so 80s.
Right.
But it's just great.
true.
It's inspired, and it takes those elements of production, but is actually using them as a vehicle, for like great fucking songs. So yeah, I mean, there were at least one, 60s holdout that was capable of taking that 80s sound and doing something worthwhile with it.
I will say
and it was not Brian Wilson, at least not in 1985.
I will say I do have a Paul Simon song on my yacht rock playlist as well. Yacht rock, that's actually
Paul Simon solo?
No, the Kodachrome has a lot of yacht rock elements to it.
Sure.
So there it is.
All right.
Yeah, good job, Paul Simon. Like taking,
one.
making his way through.
Yeah.
He is still crazy.
Yep. Yep. After several weeks or something. I think that's how the song goes.
I think that's it.
All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about the A side of this thing.
Woo!
Yeah.
And we're back on Strange Currencies
This is talking down the
Produced
highway. Come on, Glenn.
podcasts.
Get your head in the game.
Talking Down the Highway, produced
God,
by.
we're so enthused about this
Jeez.
record that we're just so...
All right,
I'm just
focused.
mesmerized looking at the album cover. Oh, wait a minute. It sounds like it's time for an episode of Sound and Vision. Yeah, that's right. It's time for Sound and Vision, where we discuss all things aesthetic using a scale provided to us by David Bowie. Glenn, if we really like something, we call it a...
Low.
That's right, David Bowie's masterpiece. Tim, if we don't like something, we call it...
Earlier on.
Never Let Me Down, which David Bowie definitely let us down. You know what? I think Never Let Me Down came out like right around this time,
Oh,
right?
wow.
Was it?
I don't know.
There's another 60s stalwart that didn't exactly...
Yeah.
Yeah. It was either Tonight or Never Let Me Down. I forget what year because they're both fucking awful. But anyway. All right, and hey, if there's a comfortable middle ground... let's dance. 1983, David Bowie's okayest album. Bangers up front.
Yep.
Certified. Modern Love is fucking awesome.
It is. Yeah.
Great song. So good. Let's listen to that instead. No, okay, let's talk about this album cover.
I don't even know. I don't know if I care to look, but what are the images that are behind the letters?
Shorelines and coasts,
Generic
and all that kind of
coastal.
stuff.
It's just some translucent letters that says the Beach Boys, and the background is just what? Solid white?
Yeah, solid white.
Wow.
I'm a little dismayed because, it was certainly by this point of the documentary where Al Jardine made the rather definitive and, let me tell you, very touching quote of, "We were no longer Beach Boys, we were Beach Men." And nope, they're still going by the Beach Boys. This is a flagrant case of false advertising.
Wow.
And I demand my $3 back.
Do you think they named this album The Beach Boys just so anytime someone says, "Oh, I love the Beach Boys," they can pretend that they're talking about this album?
Maybe. I don't know.
Probably more than just they didn't give a shit.
What do we think of the cover?
Awful.
Yeah, it's what's worse is the photo on the back.
Oh,
I didn't even know what it is.
look at that. Hold on, I gotta slide it out. Oh, geez, look at Bruce on there.
It's
Giant fucking head.
It's a Sears
Yeah.
family portrait
Yeah.
with like some clouds
Uh-huh.
in the
Oh,
background.
that's awful.
I'm pulling it up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Mike and the dad sweater and the stupid fucking hat.
They used another shot of that from that same, the one that's on the back of the album. They used another shot of that for the single on "It's Getting Late," and it's just them in another configuration.
I wonder if they're trying to
It's like-
imitate. They're trying to do 15 big ones again here because they're
Maybe.
in the formation of the
They
Olympic
are.
rings.
Carl's still wearing his sexy gear.
Well, again, like I was saying, in this same session, they switched it, and they have 3 in back and 2 seated.
Okay. Well, no, that's what it is here.
Al's in Miami Vice, apparently.
So the back cover makes me want to bump it up from Never Let Me
yeah,
Down.
yeah. No, I'm gonna give it a Let's Dance, and you guys know the reason why. 5 years after this, apparently Fugazi decided they needed to pay homage to the Beach Boys with their great album Repeater, which
but
takes the entire motif and
But that doesn't make this better.
sure it does because it's something now I can look at and be like, oh, I get it.
I remember
cute.
the good album.
Yeah, it's Let's Dance, whatever.
Let's Dance.
Nah,
It's not terribly.
Never Let Me Down.
It's not terribly
No,
offensive.
It's Let's Dance.
It's Never Let Me Down.
It's Let's Dance.
All right.
Nah.
Good episode. All right, let's. If we're talking sound and vision, we had a couple little music videos from this album. I think that can lead us into a conversation of our first couple of songs here.
All right,
so segue, huh?
Can we? Okay, so first track on the A side, which is what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
First track is "Get You Back."
Get You Back.
Which, again, if you're gonna drop the needle and play this song, and it gets in there, you're like, oh, it's 1985.
Yep.
Okay, you hear it right away. But I didn't. It wasn't awful. I was bracing myself for just a smack in the face of offensive stuff. And I went down. I was like, okay, I can see. It does sound like the Beach Boys here.
I mean, but it's such a heavy-handed throwback.
Super heavy-handed.
It is heavy-handed throw, but like I appreciated that there was some like composition going on. There was something there, but then you sent me a link to that music video,
And it changes
Hold
everything.
on. Let's finish talking about the song itself first, though. Like, I'm with Glenn. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but I cannot unsee that music video.
Sure,
now,
sure.
it
But now this is.
completely ruins
Oh, see,
Well, my favorite part of the song
when any potential.
is when they rip off Uptown Girl. Is that?
yeah.
I unironically love Uptown Girl.
It was the song of protest.
That's right.
No, you know what? This song's not bad. Like, if the whole album were on this level, it'd be like, whatever, it's fine. It's cheesy, but whatever, it's fine. It's catchy. Like, I can ring it up in my head right now, and I don't know that I can do that for pretty much any of these other songs.
Yes,
I can't,
It's
but-
cheesy. It's cheesy, but acceptable until you see the music video. Then
I
it's
guess. I mean,
unacceptably
on a
cheesy.
musical level, it's fine. It's catchy. It's got a nice hook. It's cute. Whatever. Now, look, I drag the guy through the mud for all kinds of things, and I'm going to stand by it. We make fun of Mike Love a whole fucking lot here. Is this just me leaning too heavily into it, or is his vocal on this song just atrocious?
I don't even remember.
It's bad. It's so bad.
Yeah,
I can't.
I think if his voice were not on it, or if he I don't know, maybe gave a
Died.
little bit more effort, or they dug up Dennis's corpse and had him sing it or whatever, that maybe the song would actually have been even better. Because the harmony vocals in it, they're fine. But that lead vocal by Mike, it's rough. It sucks.
Part of the reason I can't remember how the song goes is because "Get You Back" reminds me of. I had to look it up. I think it's "No More Shoes" by Stephen Malkmus.
Oh, okay.
On
That's
Face
our
the Truth.
second Stephen Malkmus.
Yeah.
reference,
But remember,
so
there's
far,
that part where he goes, "Get you back."
Yeah, remember the first song.
Anyway,
Let's listen to that.
it's a much better song.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Well,
All right, the video.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So the thing about it is that it's great. It's visual storytelling. It's like a silent film. I said to Matt over text, it's like a Chaplin movie.
And I said if a Chaplin movie sucked.
Well, sure, but but the thing that's great about it is it's not the Beach Boys playing a tune. It's these characters. It's this nerdy guy. Actually, no, sorry, it's two children, like next door neighbors.
Right.
Boyhood crush kind of thing. And the boy moves away, and they're sad, waving to the girl goodbye. And then years later, she's like a model or something. He sees her in a magazine. They reconnect. But he's this nerdy dude, and he's real nervous to see her. So he makes himself bionic dancing legs.
Yeah.
Because he's a nerd, so he's good at science and stuff. And he practices dancing with the legs until he's a real good dancer with those legs on.
It sounds way cooler with the way you describe it than it actually is.
And then he goes to a party to see her, and there's a bunch of Beach Boys there, but they're just like side characters. Like, who the fuck is this guy? And he
Carl's like serving him drinks. Or
Yeah.
no, Carl was a bouncer.
Carl's a bouncer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. And then I forget what happens. They do some dancing.
Al's like the smarmy manager who's like, "Who's that guy? Kick him out of here."
This is what I'm saying. Like you can tell the whole plot without any words, any dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, the guy like falls into the pool or something. It doesn't get electrocuted for some reason.
Yeah. I hope somebody got fired for that plot hole.
Oof, that blunder.
It was a Tom York moment there.
Ooh.
I don't get it. He's still alive. It's Dennis
Yes,
Wilson
standing
moment.
at the MTV Beach House and his
Jumping
his
into
guitar.
the pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Classic.
But yada yada yada. The nerd and the hottie end up together, and they're in love, and they running down the beach,
Making out.
yeah. All that stuff. Whatever. It's fun.
Bruce is the lifeguard.
Oh, really?
the
beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I've already forgotten it. It made such an impression on me. I've forgotten all the little ins and outs.
Well, then they're at the beach and she's surfing, but he's still not cool enough because he couldn't come up with bionic legs that could help him surf.
But somebody's there to help out.
But you know who's there to help out?
David
It sounds
Hasselhoff?
like it's time for an episode of Heroes and Villains.
What? Oh, yeah.
That's right. It's Heroes and Villains. We're discussing the heroes and the villains, whatever it is we happen to be talking about this week. And this week we're talking about the Beach Boys. Wait a minute. Every episode is about the Beach Boys.
The 1985
Yeah, I
album.
was confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
I'm still
Hero.
confused.
It's Brian.
Oh yeah.
Brian,
We're talking about that
Brian,
video,
this
right?
This poor guy is on the beach.
I think it's Boy George. Oh, sorry. Yeah, in the video.
And-
Yeah, Brian
Brian
like shows
can't-
up with Wayne Coyne's inflatable
Right.
ball.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
the
that's
flaming
right.
lips,
Yeah.
inflatable
Well,
ball.
and Brian's
the
driving like an
hamster
ice
wheel.
cream truck, right?
No, an Acme van.
Oh,
He's
okay.
driving the Wile E. Coyote Acme van. You know, like straight from the tunes, and
Deep
I
cut.
can't believe I forgot about the bubble.
Yeah.
yeah, and he
It's the
brings
best
out
part.
the bubble, and so now the guy is able to be like, you know, dorky and run out and be with her on the water.
Yeah, because he's in the bubble. And I remember thinking that the actor was really committed.
He was
That did not
committed.
look fun. I mean, who knows how hot it was inside that bubble in the Southern California sun.
We should ask Wayne what's it like. I wonder
Yeah.
if Wayne's ever done it on the ocean.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're good friends with that guy.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Well, I'm not.
Hey, Wayne, let us know.
Yeah.
Give
Wayne.
us a call.
You can call us Wayne.
Yeah.
The bubble pops at some point or something.
No.
No?
They kiss through the
washes,
bubble.
Yeah, and he washes ashore, and then he gets out of
Oh,
the
they
bubble,
kiss
and they
through
start
the
making
bubble.
out on the beach again, which is why he's so into it. You know.
Yeah.
She's a looker. You know. So.
And he's got her back. He's got her back.
And he's got glasses on, so obviously he's hideous.
yeah, he
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Brian's a hero.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah, Brian's a hero.
Where we have a hero, we need to have a villain.
Charlie Chaplin.
I don't know. There was this creepy guy back in the very first scene where they were kids, right?
Oh.
And he's just walking by and he's like taking pictures of them and I don't know, probably offering them candy and a
didn't
ride
even
in his
notice
van. And do we know who that guy was?
That was
I
Mike
can
Love.
guess.
Mike Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's fucking Mike Love.
Okay.
Villain.
Yeah,
I thought maybe Landy had a cameo.
No.
Oof. Oh, yeah. Well, Eugene Landy's got to be
No,
villainous.
Mike Love is a villain.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
Mike
fine.
All
Love
right,
is
good
the
episode.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to this track listing here. Song 2, It's Getting Late.
It's Getting Late.
Did they have a video for this one, Tim?
Actually, they
Yes,
do.
they do, and it's part 2.
It's a direct
continuation.
sequel. It picks up exactly where the other one lifts or ends up.
So the beginning of It's Getting Late starts, and the music video they're on the beach kissing, and
Some kind of surf god.
it's Dennis back from the dead.
I thought maybe it was supposed to be Dennis. Yeah,
It's the ghost of Dennis comes back, and this poor guy, he's been like, it doesn't he?
he has a
When does
conch
the-
shell. Is it
Yeah,
conch? Is it conch or conch?
Conch shell.
He's got a big shell.
Yeah, and he
like-
pours magic on him.
Well, he envelops him into
Right.
the shell,
transforms him
and then
It's
lifts it back up.
It's
and suddenly,
Surferella. It's Surferella.
yeah. Suddenly the glasses are gone, and therefore he's hot.
He's now hot.
Yeah,
Really, the only thing that has changed is that the glasses are gone.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And his demeanor.
Yeah, well, he's all cool and suave.
So he's cool, but
It's like,
the
it's
thing
like
that
Urkel
happens-
when he becomes
Yeah, exactly. Stefan or Kel.
Right.
Yeah.
But I
So-
guess what happens first is like her friends come
Yeah,
in a
the
Jeep,
friends all come in a Jeep.
and he's such a nerd that they're like, "Fuck you, nerd!
Yeah,
Get in
yeah.
the Jeep,
You're a model.
lady," and
This
then
guy's a nerd.
They drove off. So yeah, he's got to be cool.
and so the ghost of Dennis comes and makes
Yeah.
it cool.
Yeah.
But only for a limited time. He's got a little hourglass
That's right.
there, Charlie Chaplin style.
The girls are all
storytelling.
all over him until the juice runs
and the
out.
juice runs out, and then he's
a
back
nerd
to being
again.
a nerd.
Yeah, but he was enjoying that a little too much, right?
He was.
Like with the other girls.
Like, he
Like if he
forgot
really
about-
cared about the
Exactly.
whoever the first one was, like. But then as soon as he turns back to nerd, she's like, okay, you're cool again. Like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't buy
There's
it.
a lot of
I don't buy it.
shenanigans.
Yeah.
I don't know, but at the end,
What exactly happens at the end?
Brian shows up like the conch, the ghost of Dennis or whoever, the big Kahuna, and throws the magical conch. And he's like, oh, we don't need this
that's right.
anymore
Brian
he
does show up
turns
at the end.
he turns everybody else into
That's what I was gonna
nerds.
say. But that was my question. Like, is that what happens?
So yeah, I think the way that the big
you
Kahuna
only see it for a
fixed it,
second.
The big Kahuna fixed it,
Yeah.
because our protagonist is a nerd now, and the way he fixed it is he made everybody else nerds by sprinkling the conch
Right.
over, and then
But then they
she
start
realizes,
dancing. They seem to be dancing in joy. And
I
then you
think
never
they
really
all
get a
freak
good
out.
shot
No,
of them.
I think they all are
You
freaked
see
out.
one of them with maybe some glasses on. It's like the editing is bad. It's very unclear kind of
is,
what
it
happens.
is.
But you're right.
I think they ran out of money like 2/3
yeah.
of the way through this whole thing.
But anyways, everybody just goes back. I think it turns out that everybody's a nerd anyways.
But it's
And
cool
we're
to be a
just-
nerd
It's
or
cool to be a
something.
nerd.
Yeah.
Just be a square. Be yourself.
Yeah.
And
kinda fits in with the theme of the
big
early Beach
Kahuna
Boys.
walks away.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have any more need of his magical conch, so he drops
Mm-hmm.
it. And the very last, closing credit scene, if you will, Brian picks up the conch, shows up out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and he listens to it, and he hears California Calling.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah,
Okay.
it
Which
is.
made me think it was going to be a trilogy.
It makes me think maybe
Again, they ran out of money 2/3 of the way through the
maybe this is a concept album. Maybe this whole album is a narrative.
The concept is the Beach Boys suck now.
Wow.
yeah.
All right, well, we didn't even talk about the song. It's getting late. So there are people who really, really like this album, and this is the song that the people really seem to hone in on as like the secret, classic song here.
All I have in my notes is that Carl kind of sounds like Michael McDonald. The chorus is kind of catchy, but it's all real cheesy.
It's super, super cheesy. Yeah.
So again, this was another one that I didn't mind terribly when I on first listen. But again, Tim's curse ruined it with that music video. So
I think the videos
now
make
I
the songs
can't
better.
even really.
Okay, that's it. I don't remember.
All right. Well, let's keep moving along here, Sade. Track 3 is "Crack at Your Love."
Brian wrote this one, so
No,
songwriting
Al
credits.
wrote-
The first one's Mike and Terry. Then you got Carl. This one's Brian and Al. Al sings lead. I think Brian's name is first in the credits for writing it. It has a funky synth bass.
My quote was, "Oh God, that bass sound."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like Brian's bridge. It's spooky. There is like a part where Brian comes in and it's like a whole different song for like 8 measures that I do like.
My note here was, referencing crack in the 80s. Really, guys?
He wants to take a crack at your love.
Yeah.
So
Crack
That
at
could have been a
Mike
Mike Love solo album.
Yeah.
Crack at your love. Love and crack with Mike.
what is a lyricon?
Lyricon.
There's a credit on here on crack love crack at your love.
Yeah.
Ian Ritchie plays the lyricon.
I don't know, and I don't care.
Oh, it's
I don't
an
care to find
electronic
out.
wind instrument.
I don't know, and I don't care. Yeah. All right, well, let's move on. Maybe I don't know.
This is
maybe I
Carl.
don't
Carl wrote
remember
this one.
this
This is I called it Baywatch guitar here. It's really like hair metal guitar,
Yeah, I said, oh, God, that guitar intro.
very over the top.
Yeah.
I have in my notes, what happened to you, Carl?
Yeah. I hate this so much.
Yeah, and this goes back to Carl's solo album. Like he was embracing the current sort of sound way too hard,
Yeah.
and kind of too late too. Like I don't know, 88.
Well, it's 85.
Oh, that's right. This is 85.
Yeah, and it still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awful. You know what's a good song? Maybe I Know by Leslie Gore.
Oh, there you go.
Listen to that instead.
Maybe this is like a response song to it. Like
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, be
Don't
my
Worry,
baby.
Baby,
Don't worry,
yeah.
baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
probably not.
Maybe not.
All right.
probably not.
Last one on the side.
She believes in love again.
Wow. That could be a Mike Love solo album. Bruce wrote this one.
Yeah, my note is, of course, Bruce.
I thought the verse had kind of a soft hair metal thing, like Whitesnake or something going on, but then but still really bland, and then the chorus is very, very adult contemporary bland. Just like meh. I can't pull it up in my head, but this is how I felt about it at the time.
Yeah, synthesizer.
I have a note somewhere. I was supposed to look up the second verse lyrics because they were really bad, and now I can't tell what the second verse is looking on my phone, and I just don't want to know.
Yeah, see? We don't need to know these things about this album. Who cares?
Ooh, maybe this was it. And now it's up to me to give her all she needs the right way. Yeah. My other thing is this is fucking terrible.
Yep.
Yeah. Awful. Awful,
Yeah,
awful,
just a whole bad side,
Ugh, this whole
I
side
think,
A
anyway.
is,
I mean,
yeah.
Get You Back, whatever.
It's gonna get better on side B.
You know what? Get you back, and it's getting late. If those were, an A side, B side, whatever, fine.
Yeah.
Then, okay, whatever. It's not great, but it exists, and I don't hate it.
Right.
But everything after that's trash. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing we can take a break and come back, and the B side's gonna be better, right? Surely.
A little
it has
bit.
to be much better.
Surely
little
it'll
tiny
be better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're back on Talking on the Highway. We're talking about the Beach Boys. It sucks. Sorry, this is side 2.
Side B
stinks.
is awful.
Buy my book. Sorry. Other references people don't get.
Yeah.
This is side 2 of The Beach Boys by The Beach Boys.
What they call in the industry the flip side.
Flip side of the ST.
Okay, California Calling.
Calling,
It's awful.
Al
It
wrote this with Brian.
Is
Another big throwback. It's got Surfing USA stuff happening.
Yeah, I said, ooh, cool fake out.
Yeah. Mike sings this one. I didn't notice that Mike Love only sings on 4 songs on this whole album, so that's good at least.
hey, Ringo Starr plays drums on it.
Ringo's on the drums, but the song itself is just pretty dorky. And
Yeah, I just feel like that the fact that Ringo's playing drums is only further reminder that Dennis is gone, and that's just sad.
And I mean, Ringo and then the other guest appearances are like, I mean, I don't know. These people are just throwing him a bone, or they're like, "Hey, okay, sure, I'll."
Sad.
Yeah, you'd never listen to this and be like, oh, you know what? That's Ringo.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah. I guess I'll
There
show up.
are 3 things I wrote about why I hate this song.
I've got a few things too. Go ahead.
I wrote down that Al. It sounds like Al wrote it. Like
Yeah.
Second, Mike sings the vocals. That's why. And then the third reason I hate the song is they say Frisco.
Yeah.
That just makes me angry.
Texas, right? That's what they're singing about.
Yeah, they're singing about Frisco, Texas.
So here are my things. First off, they talk about boogie boarding and then like continue that line as if it is also the same as a surfboard. And boogie boards and surfboards are not the same.
Well, they don't know.
And I wrote here, if Dennis were still alive, he would not have let that slide.
Yeah, he would have
that's
corrected
true.
that.
Yeah. Even Ringo should have known that. But okay. Next, lingo. There is all kinds of... so we got Ringo and we got Lingo.
Oh.
They're referencing Hodaddies,
yeah,
Woodies
that's
in Mike's
right.
verse, and the phrase
Oh.
"totally rad."
Totally rad.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just edgy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, totally rad. Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah, maybe the low point of the album. It's pretty fucking awful.
One of them.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few, but
All right, so the next track is called Passing Friend. This was written by Culture Club and sung by Carl. It's a Culture Club song. And I don't like it. I don't know if I like Culture Club in general, but regardless, this is way too long. It's like a 5-minute song.
Yeah.
And
How is this a
and I don't
Beach
care
Boys
about
song?
it. Yeah. I mean, let's see. The producer, whoever produced this, I forget his name, did produce Culture Club albums, so he probably just knew Boy George and the other dude and was like, hey, come on over, help us out. We got shitty songs here. Write us the song. But yeah,
Okay.
no good. What do you think, Matt?
well, my baby listens to my car radio, and when we're cruising, lets the whole world know. And when our favorite surfing song comes on, we always let them know it's totally rad. Sorry, I just had to have the whole verse there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that from California?
That was
Calling?
California Calling. Yeah. This next one, I don't know. Let me look. Passing Friend. It sounded like they said "lose your hair" at the starting post, and I'm pretty sure that's not what they said. But you know, I would have liked it more if that's what they had said. Then I was wondering, is that Mike playing the sax solo? And then I remembered, of course not, because all he can do is. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Carl can sing, but what a waste on this song. And then I actually have a positive thing to say. The na 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 not again hook is actually pretty okay.
I don't even remember it. But
It was kind of catchy. I don't remember. I can't hear it in my head right now.
Yeah.
But apparently when I listened to it, I took enough of a note to say, oh, okay, that's a hook.
do you agree it's way too long?
Yeah, I mean, is it longer than 30 seconds?
5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and like it being catchy and stuff. Like I said, this is basically a song by a completely different band. So depending on how you feel about that band, then yeah, whatever. I'm just trying to think about it. I don't know if I know any song besides Karma Chameleon, but I don't know if I give a shit about.
Do you really wanna hurt me?
Yeah. So I don't know if I really give a shit about Culture Club. Yeah. I feel like Boy George may have had some solo stuff that I like, but I don't remember. Anyway, that's a
All right.
that's a song. The next one is I'm So Lonely, which Brian wrote and sings. Has a big saxophone intro I have.
Yeah,
Eugene
and-
Landy wrote this.
And I wrote, did Mike play that sax solo? And then I remembered, no, because all Mike can do with the saxophone is,
Wait, did you make the same note twice? Did you make the same note twice about two different songs?
I did, yeah.
Same.
Well, I have not great written here.
I literally have not great, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, Landy probably made him write it by threatening with a
Holding
baseball bat.
Yeah. I also have as a note, retirement is an option, guys.
Yep, it's true. Next one's called Where I Belong. Carl and Bruce wrote it. It's I have that it has a kind of a dark synth sound that I kind of like at the beginning. This one this is the one that I think might actually be a good song. I say, could this be a good song? A standout at least. And then I like it.
I have, understatement is still possible. And this isn't great, but it's fine.
Yeah, I feel like I don't remember anything about how it sounds, but I got the sense that this might be one of like two decent songs on the whole record.
It was fine. I mean, I didn't hate it apparently. So, all right, I'm going to throw it in there. We get you back, and it's getting late, as you know.
Sure.
I would put it higher than those two, but that's just based on my notes. Like I said, I have no memory of any of these songs.
All right. Well, I do remember that the next one is basically just a Stevie Wonder song with Carl singing on it.
It's just an 80s Stevie Wonder song, and I don't mind 80s Stevie Wonder. I actually like Part-Time Lover a lot. And I like this song. It's,
Are you going to tell the story about getting fussy again?
I think, people could go back to the archives if they want to hear
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
4-year-old Tim getting fussy and ruining a Stevie Wonder concert for my parents.
Everybody. The only time he ever came to Oregon.
That's right.
Yeah. And you ruined it.
I ruined it. There's some cool chord progression stuff happening. There's kind of major, minor shifting, kind of in mid verse and things like that. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
Carl sings on it.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
It's
I mean,
fine.
that's a pretty good combination right there. Didn't Carl sang on the cover they did on Wild Honey, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah. I was made to love her. This is not as good as that.
No.
No.
All right. Next one's called "It's Just a Matter of Time." Another Brian song. I like the
Is it,
harmonica. This one's not too bad. A lazy stroll.
Yeah.
Sure, whatever.
I just said in reference to the title, that's what I keep telling myself.
Oh, wait, was it a harmonica or a melodica? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Nope.
We're done. We made it.
Well, I mean, there's the one bonus track called "Male Ego" on the Spotify version, and it's a gross Mike song. There's a line in it though that I thought was kind of funny.
Does he hang on to his ego?
Oh God, that's a good. I don't know how. Something about we love to chase those tasty ladies.
Ooh.
Oh.
No.
But then it's something about we're gonna be doing it in our 80s.
No.
God. Make it stop!
It's at least kind of funny.
Guilty as charged.
It's real bad though. If you should listen to it. You should look at the lyrics. It's
You
just
should have told us about this before.
cheesy dumb stuff.
Oh, man.
Well, okay, so take away.
Can confirm, I guess, though.
take
He was in
away-
his 80s, right?
Take away, you should go and listen to Male Ego, and you should watch the 2 music videos, and then vomit and purge and. Oof.
I mean, this is one I think, Matt, that you're gonna say, you know how bad it gets. So maybe this isn't the bottom of the barrel, but yeah,
It's close.
I'm considering giving it. Giving it a mic.
Interesting.
Well,
no.
okay. I think
Yeah, no.
so here's the thing. Okay, so it's time we have to rate this then, right?
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing here? Okay. Here's the thing. I think Matt alluded to this. The first 2 tracks aren't awful. They aren't terribly offensive until you watch the music video.
That makes them better.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the music video is dumb, but it doesn't make me dislike it anymore. I can evaluate the song totally separate from the video.
Okay. Okay. You have to. You have to if you're gonna. But again, those first 2 tracks aren't terribly offensive. Where I Belong, I Do Love You. Okay.
That's fine.
They
You
don't make me
could
angry.
make a not worst thing I ever heard EP out of those 4 songs.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
because of that, it can't be a Mike Love.
Yeah.
Trust
That's
me.
true.
I agree.
There's a Mike Love in our future.
Okay.
This ain't it.
So if it's not a Mike Love, has its
4 songs.
is it
Stamos.
killing anyone?
I'm going to give it a Manson because I don't necessarily like those first 2 songs much at all.
See, I don't think anybody is getting murdered.
That's not why. The joke is that Mike is worse than Manson.
I'll give it a Stamos.
Yeah, I'm going Stamos too. I'm with Glenn on
It
this
feels
one.
it feels Stamos-y to me.
Yeah.
It feels like
You can even picture Stamos playing those hair guitar parts, right?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
He might have programmed some of those drums.
Yeah. It's a Stamos.
Yeah, it's a Stamos.
It's a Manson for me.
I'll respect it. I wouldn't have respected it if you called it a Mike Love because you got to save those.
Right, I know.
They're special.
I know.
They're special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stamos. All right.
That's
well, hey,
it. It's a Stamos. Right? Yeah. Solid.
I don't know that I don't think I've given a Stamos yet. I know I gave a Manson to the Mike Love album last time out, but I think this is my first Stamos.
Before we take this next break, I just have to read you a text from my dad. Just now, I gave him my Disney Plus password, and he texts me. He doesn't know, we're in the middle of recording. He says, "I need you to get the 6-digit code from Disney sent to your email ASAP. We have 15 minutes." And then he says, "Never mind. I can just use the password. Sorry." And I say, "Ha, okay." And then his response is, "I may be dumb, but I'm slow. This is my dad.
Is he only has 15 minutes to watch the Beach Boys?
Yeah, is that what he's watching? Ask him.
Well, I think so, actually. That's why he wanted my password.
All right.
But he just means, like, you get the code and it expires.
Right. Oh, okay. It
Yeah,
expires
yeah,
in
yeah.
15 minutes. I thought that was like something was happening. He's got to watch.
It's
on
still funny.
live
Like,
on, that
we
is
need the code ASAP.
ASAP.
Stat.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to take one last break and we'll come back to wrap it up.
Yeah.
It's getting late.
Oh dear. Well, good news. Good news is we have something.
Late.
We have something to look forward to. I'm excited because we're gonna listen to a Brian solo album.
Getting late.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
It is good, I think.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Let's not talk about it. You know what? Let's talk
Yeah.
about it now.
Let's talk about it next. We
Let's just do
we
the
got
whole
we got
episode.
3 minutes to get it
Okay.
in before the hour's up.
So what I think about
No,
track
stop
one
it.
is...
It's
Oh,
getting late.
yeah, I
It's
guess
getting
so.
late.
Whatever.
Solid episode.
It's all right.
Terrible album.
Yep.
It gets worse. It gets worse. I promise.
Somehow I feel like I'm going to ironically love the ones that you say are really bad, so we'll see.
It's coming.
You wait.
All right. Well, next week we're gonna take a look at Brian's solo album. So listen with us.
His first solo album.
His first solo album, and so listen along. You get to weigh in on what you think.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll catch you then.
Yeah, bye.